Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Mount Carmel Area High School Silver Bowl, where tonight, on a soggy, rainy, miserable Friday night, the Red Tornadoes of Mount Carmel, coming in at 6-0, entertain their arch rivals over from North Schuylkill in the Ashland, Pennsylvania area. The North Schuylkill Spartans, they come into the game at 0-6, and they've had a rough season so far. The Spartans, a proud program. They have had much success in the past years, but just having a tough one this year. Have gotten progressively better as the season's gone on and made some improvements, and Coach Polinsky has been very proud of the way they hang into a game. And the thing that we need to look at, as we talk about every year, is the Spartans absolutely have our number as far as giving us a game. They are big time as far as the rivalry goes. We have never been quite on the same page as this rivalry, and that has cost us dearly many times in the past couple of years. So we need to see what's going to happen tonight. Of course, the big story will be the field. It has rained heavily since last night. It rained all day today. It is pouring rain right now. The game is expected to be played in a rainstorm, so we'll see how this new turf holds up under these very, very wet conditions. The Red Tornadoes are going out for the coin toss now. Spartans will meet them there. We do not know a whole lot about the Spartans. Again, we haven't seen a whole lot of them this year, other than that they've had a tough time of it. But as I said, Wayne, I think they're still a formidable football team and not something you want to be looking around and looking past.
Well, you know, every year we go over there. 3 years ago, I guess it was, when Coach Chesney was over there. What happens? We go over there with a superior team and we get our ears pinned back. And you're right. They always play this game like it's the biggest game for them, and it always is. And we go out there and just go through the motions and play the game. And the last couple times we played, of course, we got rocked back a little bit. I don't think this is going to happen this year. I don't know if the weather's going to be much of an effect on this game. I do not think so, especially when you're looking back at who North Schuylkill played, and they have gotten beat by the Tamaulipas and so on and so forth. So, I don't think we have much to worry about the passing game as we take a look at it in the rain. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe we have a good chance to see what we can do in inclement weather, because you're getting down into the season now, and we've been lucky the last couple of weeks having beautiful weather. You never know what's going to happen from here on out. So these conditions are good trying, especially with a team like North Schuylkill. Maybe it's a good time now, again, if you look at this, to get your running game on track, which we need to do. We're coming up into the last half of the season here with Selinsgrove, much improved team from the first game that everybody had seen them. And, I'm sure at the end of the season, we're going to need all cylinders working, again, 100% against Selinsgrove.
I think you brought up some great points. The North Schuylkill, the Spartans, don't have the horses as far as matching up in talent. That's a given. What isn't a given is their heart. And I think we're going to see that tonight as they get ready. They're going to receive the football. We're going to kick off. But I think the other thing you mentioned is it's a couple of things. You need to play a game like this once a year. Right. And that's easy for us to say since we're in the press box. But you need to play a game like this once a year to test yourself, to get going. I think this is also going to be a major test of the Red Tornado running game. I think it's windy, and the wind is swirling around right now, and it is raining heavier now than it was even a couple of minutes ago. So you're not going to rely on a passing game. The Red Tornadoes want to establish the run as they go down the last half of the season, and they position themselves for the district playoffs. You're not going to win a district playoff game. You're not going to advance in the state playoffs without a running game. Coach Brennan knows that, and they know it. And this is the game I think they're going to use to polish that up and try some things and get everybody rolling. Shinsky gets ready to tee it up, and we'll get this thing rolling. He kicks it down in the corner down there to number 22, and that's Linkhorst. And Linkhorst makes a run, and he's right up the field. He takes it all the way up to the Spartan 43-yard line for a nice return. And again, I'm also nervous because, number one, Quintero is not in the game. He had an injury in the JV game. We won't see him tonight. I do not like playing without him on special teams.
Well, last week he was sick. He was not feeling well. And this week now he pulled a muscle. So, he'll be back next week or maybe in the week after.
Well, I'm just not happy about it. It's as simple as that. I don't like not seeing him on there. All right, we're going to get this thing ready. We'll get a fresh ball in there, a dry one, hopefully, as Mark Edwards, the quarterback. He's number 10. Gets them set up, and they're in the I formation to start the football game. He puts a man in motion. We're going to pitch it back, and it's a flea flicker. We pitch it back to Edwards, who is well covered. Kufta almost intercepted it down there. That was a tough play. Had Kufta gotten it, there was nobody in front of him. He read the play perfectly, and Edwards was in trouble from the start as far as receiving the ball. So the Spartans come out with a little flea flicker here to keep us on our toes to start the game.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Kufta was waiting for that ball. It was a slow pass. It wasn't a very fast pass coming over. It was more of a lob, and he was waiting, and then Buggy comes over and knocked it out of his hands.
This time we give it to Fedeko, 31. He's going to try to get around there, and Kufta and Dara are going to put him down. He's going to gain about a yard in the plane. A flag is down on the field, and it's on the Spartan side of the ball, so we'll wait and see what happens there. The wind beginning now to pick up even further than it was, just making for a miserable evening here at the Silver Bowl as these two teams square off, and we'll wait and see what they call. And this looks like it's going to go against the Spartans, and that's not what they needed. Be holding penalty, will march him back. It'll bring up a second down now and probably close to 20 when they're done.
Setting up the defense, number 39 nose guard, we have Dave Brown. The two tackles, 54 Swank and 56 Greco. 29 Damian Buggy and number 41 Leonovich tying down the end position. Steve Matsur 21 in the linebacker position along with number 45 Mike Lashinsky. John Dara cornerback. Number 27 Wargo now in as the other corner.
All right, Edwards brings him up. He's back in that I formation. He's got guys split out to his left, and he's going to pass the ball. He's got good protection. It breaks down, and so much for protection as he goes down. Greco getting off the bottom. Swank getting off the bottom down there. They bring him down. He'll have a further loss on the play. It's going to bring up a third down now, and from here to Centralia and back, it looks like when it's finally put the ball down there.
Finishing that lineup, number 4, Kufta. He is the strong safety, and number 2, of course, Lekavage is the free safety back there.
All right, it's third down now and 24 for the Spartans here on their first offensive series. Edwards going to bring him up, and he's going to go under center. It's an obvious passing situation, but that might be the reason you don't want to. He tries to draw the Red Tornadoes off. He drops straight back. He's under some heavy pressure from Swank. And it's just ugly right now as the Spartan line is not able to hold a Red Tornado defense out, at least on its first series. The Spartans will take a fourth down now, and he's now going to end up kicking inside of his 5-yard line, it looks like, when it's finally said and done. It's going to bring up a fourth, and let me see where they marked it. He was hit in the beginning, and they drug him back a little bit, but they didn't mark him that far back. But it's 4th and 34.
Back on the 14-yard line.
That's an ugly moment in time for you when you're 4th and 34. But they managed to get it kicked out of there. That was Groh who kicked it. It bounced right in front of a Spartan there. In fact, it hit him, I think. It hit number 1, Weinrich, and will be placed dead there at the Spartan 38-yard line. The Red Tornadoes will take over in great field position, and we'll see what their offense can do under these conditions. That was not the way the Spartans hoped to start this thing out, I'm sure. They are not going to have a successful night if they have to pass, and they know that. You know, everyone in the stadium knows that. So they need to get a running game going, I think, first, and see what they can do off of that as they take the defensive side of the ball now. Shinsky brings his group up, and we'll see what Coach Brennan wants to do here against somewhat inexperienced Spartan group is what it really comes down to. This is a young team. You're going to see a lot of these guys back next year. Right up the middle is Brown. Brown will take it down to close to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, great dive play. In the center, number 54, Randy Swank. The 2 guards, 56, Greco, and 72, Daukas. Number 77, Scott Novak, is in at the tackle. 71, Marshall Merarkey to right. Damian Buggy is the split end. Timmy Wargo, number 27, is the tight end. Dave Shinsky, number 8, the quarterback. Steve Matsur, 21, the slot man. Kovaleski's going to pick up the first down. He crosses over the 30-yard line, the 25-yard down to 24 of the Spartans, where it's 1st and 10 Red Tornadoes. And as we suspected, we're going to see some running here tonight from the Red Tornadoes as they bring Lashinsky in now
in that fullback spot as Brown comes out.
Yeah, 39 Brown, fullback, along with Mike Lashinsky, number 45, the tailback, number 30, Kovaleski, and John Dara is now in there.
He leaves Lashinsky as the lone back, and that's who he gives it to. And Mike churns out some yardage there. He's going to pick up about 9 yards on a play, or 8 or so. It'll bring up a second down at about 2. You know, Lashinsky's the kind of hidden guy there. You know, we talked about a couple of guys here. Matsura is one of them who does spectacular things in the game, but he doesn't. I guess he doesn't so often that he's kind of an expected thing. He just somehow you don't think of it as being spectacular, although he's made 8, 10 tackles. Lashinsky the same way, and he gives you that stunner of a fullback in that you send Brown in there and he lumbers, and he'll knock you down. But Lashinsky, deceivingly fast for a fullback. He can move. Lashinsky again. And you can see what I mean as you see him churning those legs and he can't bring him down. He'll pick up the first down around the 10-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10, I believe, depending where they place the ball at. If it hits that line, it'll be 1st and goal, and it is. It'll be 1st and goal on from exactly the 10-yard line.
Boy, you have some great holes by the interior line. They were running left that time. 77, Scott Novak, and 56, Rich Greco, putting traps in there along with Randy Swank. Now 72 and 71, Daukus and Marshall Morarki.
Again, Lashinsky, and there you have it. That's what I meant.
Yep.
The speed and the shiftiness of a kid with that kind of strength. He takes it in the end zone, and at the 7:42 mark of the first quarter, the Red Tornadoes have drawn first blood on a 10-yard run by Lashinsky with Kufta out to attempt the extra point. I'm sorry, not Kufta. Number 12 will be attempting the extra point. Rick Litchko will attempt the extra point, not Kufta. And Litchko puts it up, and it'll go wide out there to the right. So the score will remain Mount Carmel area 6 and the Spartans of North Schuylkill area 0. The Red Tornadoes prepare to kick off. We did not hear about, I was not at Supper Club, and I apologize. I had my duties as the Lion president of the Mount Carmel Lions Club got in the way a little bit last night, so I didn't get down in time. But I did not hear anybody or hear any reason why Kufta would not be kicking unless he has a slight leg injury. But he is playing defensively as always, so I'm not sure what the story is behind Litchko going in there, unless they want to just get Litchko some work too. Although that's not usually happening in the beginning of the game, but we'll see if we can find out. Jose is on the other side of the box here tonight. We'll find out at halftime what the story is with the kicking game. Shinsky tees it up there. He's got number 20 down there, Adams, and number 12, Klinger, deep. Well, maybe not Klinger. I don't know if that's 22 or 12, Wayne. What number is that guy?
22.
All right. He kicks it over there to number 9, and that's Dameter. And Dameter will take it up just to about the Spartan 30-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 Spartans. It was Dameter, I guess. I'm not Dameter. I'm not sure how you say his name. I've never seen that one. I hope I'm getting it right.
Number 55 makes the tackle on that return, Dan Evans.
All right, the Spartans will take it over offensively again here. They had a dismal first offensive series, and they are hoping to get better at this. And now they go into a full house backfield. And we give it to Fedeko. And Fedeko picks up some nice yardage on the play. He'll pick up 8 yards on the play. He'll bring up 2nd down and 2 for the Spartans, and a nice run by Fedeko.
Looks like the Tornadoes are trying to shift into a defense a little bit. They were caught moving that time. Didn't get set. But some good blocking on the right side. Look, quite a few lead blockers there pulling guard for North Schuylkill going through the hole.
This time Fedeko is in serious trouble, and he goes nowhere. In fact, he'll lose yardage on the play. That's Greco getting off the bottom of that pile along with Ledkavich.
I'll tell you what, you talk about some quiet guys, and we could probably name a good handful of them, but Justin Leonovich is one, and he was the one that stopped that play that time. He took the lead blocker on and also the pulling guard and blocked up the hole.
Fedeko, again, he'll gain about a half a yard in the play. It'll bring up 4th down. The Spartans will be forced to kick as he got one nice run out of there, an 8-yard run, and then the Tornadoes stiffen then nowhere as the Tornadoes are controlling the line of scrimmage on both offense and defense So the Tornado defense trots off to a hand from the crowd here, or what there is of a crowd in the stadium tonight, as these are just ugly conditions. Though the rain is slightly slowing, and when I say slightly slowing, it only means it's not a monsoon, but it's still pretty ugly at field level right now. Grove's kick is going to be collected down there right along the 40-yard line by Ledkavich, where it'll be 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes.
You know, one thing you noticed this year is we haven't put much pressure at all. If you remember last year, Buggy was in all the time from that left end position onto a punter. And I guess we're trying to, maybe with the speed that we have back there, we're trying to set up more of a return than we are trying to block a punt.
You're right, and I was amazed. I thought last week at Marion, that was the slowest that I've seen a punt team do things, and we still didn't pressure them. Kovaleski on the play, and Kovaleski gets outside line the Red Tornado bench, and he'll cross over the 50-yard line down to the Spartan 45, where it'll be 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes.
I'll tell you what, take a look at the hole on the right-hand side. We faked the dive to Brown going up the other way, and take a look at Buggy kicking out on the right-hand side there.
Great block.
Buggy on the right, and Marshall Merarkey kicking down to the left on their tackle, their defensive tackle, and I'll tell you, what a hole.
All right, Shinsky brings him up. He's got Brown in back of him along with Kovaleski. Short pass. He's going to try to get to Wargo, and Wargo has his man beaten. He's got him. And Wargo's going to take it in the end zone. Got a step on the defender and took it into the end zone.
Dave Shinsky just went back 3 steps, and with a nice fluid motion, if you watch him in on the replay here, just released the ball, and you see how beautiful that spiral was as it was coming down. Wargo didn't even have to stop, stutter step, nothing. He was right in stride to catch that.
All right, Litchko in for the extra point attempt. Shinsky holds it. Litchko gets it up. And this time he puts it through. So Litchko good on the extra point attempt. Pick number 12 there. The score now, Mount Carmel area 13, the Spartans 0 at the 5:40 mark of the first quarter. This game going pretty much the way we thought it would. Everything was going to have to go right for the Spartans. They were going to need some luck, a couple of breaks. And I think considering the weather conditions, that's really the final nail in the coffin. I think they're just not going to be able to mount a whole lot here with these kind of conditions.
They needed perfect conditions to play this game, first of all. And, of course, if they end up with perfect conditions, it's just a plus for the Tornadoes. You know, and the other thing is that you come out. We talked about this last week at the end of the game, Warren, if you remember that. Their attitude on the team is going to be a lot different this week than it was last week when they walked on the field. You know, you need those. And everybody said it this week. You need that type of game. You need the wake-up call, and that's exactly what Marion game was last week. A wake-up call.
Yep. Yeah, they played a tough team. They played tough. Did. You know, you're always predisposed to they look sluggish, look this, look that. They played a tough game up in Marion in ugly conditions like this. So I'm pretty proud of them. Spartans are going to bring it up the field there. That's number 20 on the carry, Kyle Adams. Adams will take it up to the 30-yard line where it's 1st and 10, Spartans.
Jonathan Novak getting up off the pile that time. Kyle Bartle, number 31, getting off the pile also, making the tackle.
So see if the Spartans have any more luck on offense they have in their first 2 possessions. I'm up in a tight formation now.
Yeah, we bring, look at Kufta. Kufta standing like a monster man there.
It's a full house backfield for Edwards behind him there.
We're running the 5-3 defense.
And the Spartans jump offside. Be 5-yard penalty, 1st and 15 now for the Spartans. Same running attack look that we have when they go into that full house and the way they run.
There's nothing wrong with that because we've had great success with it. You know, straight dive play. Yeah. You know, you're putting the power there, straight dive, and not much going on up in front, but, you know, straight ahead blocking.
All right, Edwards will get him up and set him up there. He goes back to a regular I formation now. He's going to do a sweep here, and he's got some room.
Ooh.
He'll cross back over the original line of scrimmage, picks up about 7 yards on the play. It'll bring up a second down and, about 8 for the Spartans.
Dave Brown followed him right up through the pulling guard. Pulling guard left a big hole there. Dave Brown followed it up through and made the tackle from behind on the quarterback.
That's good pursuit. That is good pursuit to do that. Now we go to Fedeko, and he is still moving.
Yeah.
And he'll gain about a yard on the play, or maybe 2. We'll see where they spot him. That was tough running by Fedeko, and he's a hard-nosed runner, this guy. He sticks his head in there.
Looked like a scrum there for a second because there were so many people standing in that position right where the hole was supposed to be. He hit the back of his blockers and kicked to the right side and still picked up a yard or 2.
The Spartans have a 3rd and 5 now as they come to the line of scrimmage. They'll set up there with Fedeko as the eye back. He's got Stutch Cage as the fullback, number 35. And Stutch Cage is a big guy, and I'm not sure if he's related to Ed Stutch Cage, the guy that I used to play what he considered tackle football, but what I considered save your life football. Back in the old days in Centralia, I remember Ed going way back. I'm not sure if that's the same family or not, but if they're related, he's one tough hombre. Ed was pretty much chiseled out of rock from what I can tell.
Really?
Oh, my goodness. He had like a negative 2% body fat. All right, Edwards brings him up. He's got a couple of guys split left now. Long count, and he goes back to pass, and he's under trouble.
Yeah.
Leonovich just hit him before he ever got his feet planted right, and then the rest of them took care of him, but he had no protection that time as Leonovich came right off the end and nailed him.
Yeah, Justin Leonovich, as soon as the ball was snapped, was on a dead sprint for the quarterback. He ran right around the blocker. The blocker didn't even have time to do anything.
So 4th now and 16. The Spartans in serious negative yardage here as far as the ground game goes here in the first quarter as they are back to kick. And you're right, no pressure at all on the kicking game as Ledkavich again will fair catch it on the Red Tornado side of the 50-yard line, right around the 48-yard line where it's 1st and 10 Tornadoes. And I'm guessing, we don't rush that kicker. We don't rush the kicker, and then one of these days we will. When we need to. Obviously, we don't need to now. I just thought Marion really stuck in my mind as that was the slowest kicking game I might have seen all year. They were just, and it's unusual to see that. They were well coached in all areas.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that they didn't do things right. They were just slow. I mean, the ball just came back slow. He took his time kicking it, and we never pressured him, so I guess we didn't think to need to. Shinsky drops back now, and he's going to need plenty of time, but and the ball's loose. Got the ball knocked out of his hand as he tried to twist around.
I think
that's big number 72 for the Red Tornadoes is going to come up with the ball. That's Daukus.
I think he was trying to look for Michael Shinsky, but the thing was there was a gap there. They must have been had a stun on the defensive line. There was a gap that was left there, and the linebacker, the middle linebacker, shot through, and Michael Shinsky came up to block him. Dave turned around. I guess he was trying to pitch the ball back to him, and Mike was already in the play. 2nd and 15. We're going to hand it to Ledkavich, who was the tailback, and he's going nowhere. He barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up a 3rd down now and 15. As the Spartans have toughened now on that defensive line. Rain still coming down pretty heavy again. It's kind of picked up a little bit here and still breezy. We had some gorgeous football nights to start this season. I couldn't believe how beautiful they were, and now 2 in a row have gone into the dumpers. So I hope this isn't going to be a string of them. Cycle.
Shinsky back to pass. The Spartans bring a blitz, and they get to him. Number 20 coming off the end there. That was Adams. Came out of the defensive backfield. Blitz Shinsky. We never picked them up, and Shinsky goes down. And the Red Tornadoes will kick the ball, and it'll be a 4th down, and you'll see him shoot off the end. Here he comes. Shinsky never sees him coming.
Dave Brown was the blocking back there, and he was over on the right. Sort of looked like somebody was getting through there.
The 4th and 20 as Shinsky lets it go.
Nice punt.
He's got Linkhorst, who drops the ball and then kneels down to pick it up, so he'll make no advance on the play. The Spartans will take over 1st and 10 at their 32-yard line. There's 1 minute and 23 seconds left here in the first quarter of play here at the Silver Bowl. And we'll see what the Spartans have in store offensively. They have had their problems offensively tonight so far. Edwards will bring in the play. I formation. Edwards goes to Fedeko again as he's looking around, and he'll pick up about 2 yards on the play.
Marshall Merarkey in at the right tackle position now, where Greco was at, and makes the tackle.
Now, along with Brown. So it'll bring up 2nd down and 8 on the play. Definitely getting breezier, Wayne.
Yeah, it
I
is.
think as the night wears on here.
All the papers right before the game blew down the steps here. So.
Well, you don't really use them, do you?
No.
They're just for show. Let's face it, you're not actually reading anything. I mean, who are we kidding here? All right, he brings them back up, and that's the offensive formation you'll see most of the evening. And this time, a little misdirection. We go to Fedeko, and Swank slows them down, and Matsura ends up finishing off down there. I think Buggy got off that pile down there too. But Swank made the play. He forced Fedeko wider than he wanted to and almost caught him.
Swank was just in. I mean, I don't think anybody even touched him as he came through.
Well,
he almost got the pitch. Whew.
All right, 3rd and 11 for the Spartans. They have had just a dismal moment in time in the first quarter here.
Which will be the end of the first quarter.
Down to 5 seconds. They're not going to get this play off, and they're going to let this go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, now we stopped the clock for whatever reason at 2.4 seconds, and now they'll let it go again. And now that will be the end of the first quarter of play here at Mount Carmel area with the score of the Big Red Tornadoes 13, the Spartans of North Schuylkill 0.
Coach Babinski getting his boys in a huddle there. Just keeping everybody on track, making sure everybody's where they're supposed to be and running what they're supposed to be running.
Well, you know, they're high school guys, they're kids, you know.
Yeah.
It's a game where they, at least they think it's not that tough. Keeping them focused is a full-time job this week, and it's a full-time job tonight for everybody in the coaching staff. And keeping them focused, not, for a couple reasons. The first thing, you keep them focused so they win. That's a given. But you want to keep them focused because it's not like those guys aren't hitting them.
Right.
And you lose your concentration, you just start looking around or doing something, somebody nails you, and you're out for the year.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to lose on a play like that, too. So.
But I'll tell you what, when you talk to everybody, though, to different people about this team, some of the other referees that I know that I've already talked to, Coach Claiborne had with the Panther Valley game he did. And he said, this team here is so focused. They're probably one of the most focused teams that he has seen coming out of Mount Carmel in years.
Edwards back to pass, and Swank put some pressure on him early. He ran into his own guy, and big number 71 for the Red Tornadoes, Merarkey, is going to finally finish him off. And that'll bring a punting situation up for the Spartans as it brings up a 4th and 12, about a yard loss on the sack there. Edwards, no time at all to throw the ball right now, and that's part of his problem. 23, Jared Grow in to punt for the Spartans. Plenty of time. Nice kick.
Short.
And he's going to Cabbage takes it on the run, crosses over the 50-yard line in the Spartan territory at the 48, and that was a dangerous move there. He had his eye on the ball the whole way, though, and I think if he would have got through those first two guys, he had some room. That's what he was looking at.
Well, if you take a look at the ball, it died up in the air. It started to flutter a little bit. He was kicking into a very strong wind.
All right, the Red Tornadoes will take over 1st and 10 in Spartan territory here to begin the second quarter of play. This time we'll leave one back, and we split Brown out there, and we give it to Kovaleski, and Mark takes it up to about the 42-yard line of the Spartans. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and let's call it 4.
Well, I'll tell you what, take when you look at that replay, look at number 72, Joe Dow, because Joe was already 7 yards downfield hitting other.
Right.
I mean, he went through the hole and created the hole for Kovaleski to go through, and he was automatically downfield looking for somebody else to hit.
All right, same formation as the last play now. Go back to pass. He's under pressure. It's a screen to Letkavich, and Letkavich has got some room. He's got one block down there, and he crosses through, and Letkavich will take it in the end zone. A 43-yard screen pass from Shinsky to Letkavich for the touchdown at the 10:33 mark here in the second quarter. And there was only one guy there. He fooled the Spartans completely because the screen looked like it was coming out to the left. He turned and threw to the right, and they had a nice set of blocking down there. And the Red Tornadoes go into the end zone for the third time this evening. The score now 19-0 with Litch go on to attempt. Litchko puts it up there, and he's off a little bit to the left. So the score will remain Mount Carmel area 19, North Schuylkill 0 at the 10:33 mark. And the Red Tornadoes will kick off once again here in the first half of play. That was a pretty play there. That really was.
It was the whole series that set that up. You set up power exactly the same way, the formation each time, and we ran 5 different plays off.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
I mean,
there were two formations exactly the same way and completely different plays on 2 consecutive plays there. So it kind of shows a pretty talented offense and a multi-purpose offense from the kind of formations they can run.
I mean, there's one. We put the power backfield in with Brown, Mitsura, and Lashinsky, and we run 4 or 5 different plays off that one.
Yep. All right, Shinsky will get ready to tee it up. Takes it right down the middle of the field there. It's going to be picked up by number 9 there, Demeter. And Demeter brings it up to about the 34-yard line where it's 1st and 10 Spartans. And they'll take back over on offense here.
Justin Leonovich in on that tackle. Number 66, Jonathan Novak. And also Pete Kulik, number 48.
All right, Edwards will bring him up. That familiar I formation in back of him. This time he fakes it and he gets it out there to big number 42. That's Joseph Tomtitian. A nice play by the Spartans, a first down. In fact, the initial first down of the half for the Spartans, and a great play by Edwards to Tomtitian. That was a well-designed play.
Letkavich coming up from the free safety position to make that tackle.
Now, Tomtitian, did he come out of the tight end position?
Yes,
Is that where he came out of, right? I didn't see where he lined up. In fact, I hadn't seen him in the game all that much. I maybe just haven't seen him. He's been blocking mostly. Oh, he pitched it back there to Fedeko. And Fedeko, a nice play in there by number 27, Wargo. He just took the pins out underneath him there.
I'll tell you what, you got everybody stringing that one out, including Brown. Brown was in pursuit that time. But Wargo coming up, and he just swiped away at the ankles, and that's what did it.
He's going to bring up a 2nd down and 11 for the Spartans. Number 33 in the lineup for the Spartans, who led that play as the fullback was Brian Dieter, came into the game at the fullback spot there. Fedeko at the I back. Red Tornadoes changing their defense up a little bit there. And this time we're going to Fedeko, and he goes right up the middle. He's got some running room, a nice hole. And Fedeko's going to be brought down finally by Matsura, but not before a nice run by Fedeko. And he is just a tough kid to bring down.
I'll tell you what, nice hole by the left side of the North Schuylkill offensive line for Fedeko to break up through.
Joe Tomtitian that we're talking about here, I went to school with his dad. He graduated with me. Yes, he did. Graduated with me. All right, Edwards is looking to pass, and this time he's got some time. Ooh, just too low for Kufta, as Kufta couldn't get it off the wet grass down there. He'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Spartans. See, I don't think Edwards can pass when he's running that fast. He needs to get himself set a little bit before he can. He can't get his feet underneath him enough.
His problem is that they can't put him in the pocket. They put him in the pocket.
There's no protection right now.
There's no protection. We're going to eat him alive. He has to run, but like you said,
he needs to square himself a little bit.
He's got to square and plant his feet so he can make that throw.
Which is easy for us to say, again, up here, and we're not being chased down by 250-pound guys, but... All right, 2nd and 10 for Edwards, and he gets a guy in motion again. This time the guy will come all the way across field, turn up, but we give it to Fedeko right up the middle, and this time Fedeko goes nowhere on the play. Brings up a 3rd down now, and we'll give him a yard on the play. It'll be 3rd and 9.
Matsur coming up from the linebacker position, make that stop. Brown was in on that, and along with number 56, Rich Greco.
It's the deepest penetration of the evening for the Spartans here on offense as they're down at the Red Tornado 33-yard line. Edwards goes back to pass to somebody. He's got himself square, and he's heading downfield in a long pass. He's trying to get down there to number 23, Jared Groh, well defended by Ledkavich, and that brings up 4th down for the Spartans, and we'll see what Coach Polinsky decides to do as they're down at the Red Tornado 33-yard line.
Tell you what, the nice pass because he is throwing into a very stiff wind, Warren. It's rather breezy out there right now if you take a look at the flag.
Rain is actually heavier now than it has been before as it continues to pummel the field with rain. Edwards brings him up on a 4th and 9. Red Tornado's coming a blitz right up the middle. He's got some time and he throws it. And it's picked up down there. Went out of Leonovich's hands and a nice catch, which is down there by number 31, Fedeko, the running back, but it's not enough for the 1st down. And the Spartans will turn the ball over on downs, but a nifty play by Fedeko as it went through Leonovich's hands on the wet ball.
I'll tell you what. I think Leonovich thought that the quarterback, Edwards, was going to be tackled, and Edwards turns around, threw the ball in his direction, and I don't think he even thought it was going to come over.
Kind of caught him by surprise there. Yeah.
Caught him by surprise.
But Fedeko, that was great concentration. It went right through his hands, and he just held on to it there, but not enough for the 1st down. The Red Tornadoes are back on offense here at the 8:16 mark of the 2nd quarter. That's Kovaleski, and he's got some room. Kovaleski pouring it on down to the Red Tornado sidelines. He'll cross over the Red Tornado 40 up to the 42-yard line where it's 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes. 15-yard gain in the play. Here you see it. And watch Kovaleski coming right at you. Look at the size of the hole that he has. And now that play's designed to break to the outside, and then he has to watch and see what the outside guy does as far as the block goes. Wargo couldn't get back over, far enough.
Quick enough,
But that was a nice play, and you see where Kovaleski can turn the speed on when he gets a hole like that.
28, number 28, Morgan. Nate Morgan goes in as the slot man.
We keep the big guy, Brown, in the backfield, and Shinsky will go back to under heavy pressure, and somebody just missed a block down there. Number 54, Mark Kareva for the Spartans all over Shinsky, and that just was a blown play. Nobody saw him come.
Well, again, you put one man back there.
It's always the offside guy getting him.
It's on the offside. Dave Brown came up to pick up the end on the left-hand side, and that left one man free.
All right, we send in Matsur into the offensive backfield as Kovaleski trots off, and we'll see as Brown looks to the sideline. We're going to go into a one-back offense again, and Brown will most likely stay back there to defend.
And Matsur is the...
And there you have it. And this is the play that's going to go to Matsur way over his head. It's a good idea it was because Linkhorst was about to tattoo him there as Linkhorst from the Spartans read the play very well and was in great defensive position. Now, had not Linkhorst not been there and he catches it, that's a big-time gain. In fact, it could be a touchdown. But that time I think they well scouted us. They had seen that play at Marion several times last week as we gained big yardage. All right, it brings up a 3rd and 18 now for the Red Tornado offense as Shinsky trots in. It's odd looking at Coach Brennan down there wearing a hat. We don't normally see that down there. He's given into the rain a little bit, I guess.
In at the right guard position is number 66, Jonathan Novak.
This time we're going to go back, and he's going to be in trouble already, and he is buried down there. That's Joe Tom Tishin, buried him. Fumble, and the Red Tornadoes have fumbled the ball away. Number 52, I think, coming off that bottom is Brandon Abderoglu. I wasn't ready for that one. Brandon Abderoglu, I guess, is the name there, and he, I think, falls on the ball, but Tom Tishin put the big hit on Shinsky as he came off the far corner and just chased Shinsky down. So the Spartans now in good field condition as they recover a fumble inside the Red Tornado 30 at the 29-yard line where it's 1st and 10 Spartans. Stuchkage back in at that fullback spot now in front of Fedeko as Edwards barks out the call. And he's going to go back to pass. This time, nice protection as he goes downfield, but way long. He was trying to hit 22 Linkhorst down there, but threw it out of bounds. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that wasn't even close. He did have time. I'll tell you what, a lot of pressure coming off that defensive line for the Tornadoes. But right at this point, you take a look at the offensive line for North Schuylkill. They're starting to give Edwards a little bit more time. They're starting to open up a little bit some holes for them to for Dako to run through. So they're starting to calm down a little bit.
Yeah, they
here
stabilized
and
a
get in the
little
game.
bit.
Yes, they did.
They've stabilized a little bit. This time we fake it and give it inside. We faked it, inside, and we keep it, and it's Edwards going to be hitting the backfield by Brown.
Yeah, he was trying to hit the tight end coming off, but what happened when he faked it down, he came up, the ball slipped out of his hands, and already Brown had him.
Right, Brown was right in front of him there. All right, it'll bring up a 3rd down now. It's 3rd and 11 for the Spartans from the Red Tornado 30-yard line. Edwards rolls. He's under some pressure there. And he's down. Ball's down, and Leonovich recovered it. Edwards was buried.
Yeah, Mike Lashinsky came straight across.
Oh, man.
And Justin Leonovich was on his shoulder.
Here it is. Watch it coming at you now. Edwards moving toward you. You see Leonovich, but watch Lashinsky. Watch this hit as he... And there's Leonovich and falls on the ball. The Red Tornadoes are on offense.
The thing of it is, when you look at that replay, Lashinsky is hooked. He's coming around.
He came around the block.
When he blitzed, the lineman hooked him a little bit and twisted him, and he still made a savage hit.
Yeah, that was a big hit as Lashinsky can do that to you. Mark cuts it outside, comes over the 40-yard line down around the 44-yard line where he goes out of bounds at the Red Tornado bench. Pickup of close to 9 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 1 for the Red Tornadoes. You see the speed there. Shinsky shows you speed and power.
Yeah.
You get fooled by that guy. He's not that big, but my goodness, does he pack some punch?
Yeah.
And you see Kovaleski the other way with that speed to the sideline.
Now we got number 3, John Darrett, coming in as your wide receiver.
Now we go to an I formation with Brown as the big fullback. Kovaleski and Brown right up the middle, and Brown is churning. And Brown down over the 45-yard line, down to the 43-yard line.
That time that was run over number 72, Joe Dowka, 71, Marshall Merarkey, and Randy Swang. And I'll tell you what, they put a huge hole in that line for the Tornadoes, especially for Brown. And you get Brown rumbling that quick through the line, boy. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to be the linebacker or the cornerback standing back there looking at him coming at you.
It was a quick hitter, and you had Kovaleski give you that misdirection a little bit, which froze one of the linebackers as he watched them. This time it's Matsura, and he's off to the races. No one's catching him. Matsura at the 10-5. Touchdown, Matsura. A 43-yard jaunt by Matsura for a touchdown, and the score now 25-0. Red Tornadoes at the 5:03 mark with Litchko about to attempt the extra point. And here you see him, just that inside Sally play. Yep. He's got a guy in front of him, but he even outruns his own blockers now as he's rolling. And they just sealed off the Spartans. And Matsura takes it in the end zone, and it's just pretty watching Stevie run, I'll say that. We go for 2 here, and oh my goodness, we get it. That is number 37, John Scheiko on the 2-point conversion. Nice play by Shinsky to Scheiko. There were 2 guys out there, and I was wondering if we were going to fight for it. No Spartans in sight, but that was an interesting 2-point extra point attempt there. So the Red Tornadoes now out to a 27-0 lead here, midway through that second quarter.
That's heads-up play because you're blocking for an extra point that's supposed to be kicked, and that ball went through Dave's hands. Everything's wet down there.
Oh, absolutely.
And but I'll tell you what, heads-up play.
Well, when things are rolling right for you, things are rolling right, and that's exactly what's happening right now. Is the Red Tornadoes can do no wrong, as this is a big lead here this early in the second quarter. The Spartans just not able to put up much of a fight on either side of the ball right now, although they looked fairly better on that offensive series before.
Yeah, offensively they do. It's just, we're running some great misdirection plays that are dragging their linebackers out of position. And that case there, the only way that play works is if you have a great dive play going to the right.
Right.
You have to drag everybody, all the defenders over for Matsura to come up through that trap that's being formed over there with Rich Greco and Scott Novak.
Shinsky puts it down there, and it's going to be Dameter again as he's doing the brunt of the returning here as Dameter heads upfield, and he's going to be hog tackled down there by number 81, Josh Jaworski, for the Red Tornadoes. The Spartans will take over 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line. Ooh, that was a nice pass by a cheerleader there. I hope no one got hurt on that one.
They were aiming for Phil.
Take one of us out of here. Yeah. She's got a good arm. Okay, Edwards comes back in, and Edwards took a vicious hit to end that last series. So he's proven what a tough kid he can be tonight as he's back in the ball game now, directing that Spartan offense.
Dan Evans playing the defensive left end position, number 55.
This time a little mix-up in the backfield. Coming right towards us here, and that's big number 33 there, rumbling Brian Dieter for the Spartans. He picks up some nice yardage on the play.
Gupta making a swiping tackle again to bring him down, or there would have been more yardage.
They collided in the backfield. I'm surprised that play went as well as it did as Edwards and Dieter hit each other. And Edwards kind of shielded him from the tackle as he got around the corner there a little bit. So it brings up a 2nd down and 3 for the Spartans. Was Fedeko on the play, and he's tripped up on there by Greco. I think got a hold of him in Leonovich. And I think he's going to pick up the first down. It is a 1st and 10 Spartans as he picks up just over 3 yards on the play for the Spartans. So I like the way he runs. He is a tough runner, that kid. He's a hard-nosed player.
Well, we got number 77 there, Scott Novak in at the tackle position. And we moved Greco back, number 56, into the right linebacker position.
Long count by Edwards, and this time he's going to, look at Brown. Brown was standing right there as the ball carrier took the carry. That was 23, Jared Groh. I mean, he took 1/2 a step, and he ran smack into Brown, and that was the end of the play. It'll be a loss on the play and bring up 3rd and 12. Let's give you an idea of what you're looking at there. Groh is a 6-foot, 180-pounder, and he ran into the Zonka lookalike down there at Brown, who's 6 foot, 235 pounds, and there was no movement at all on that play. This time we go to Fedeko, and I tell you, that play was broken up a lot by Greco as he just completely broke the play up, and Merarki did the tackle, but they couldn't get past Greco. He drove his man right back into the play.
Yeah, and Greco's playing at the right linebacker position, so he was on a blitz right from the get-go. He's coming out, and I'm sure Michael Shinsky's going back in. I didn't see who went in.
It's going to bring up a 3rd down now and 12, a long 12, nearly 13 for the first down as Mr. Edwards will bring him up. He's got Dieter in that fullback spot now in front of Fedeko. And he rolls out the pass. He's got some protection. Leonovich, and he gets around him. Lashinsky's saying, okay, come on in. And Lashinsky takes him out of bounds just about the 40-yard line. It'll be 4th down, and the Spartans will once again have to kick the ball.
Yeah, take a look at Michael Lashinsky, especially on
here you'll see him.
Right there at that play. His tackles, the way he hits, textbook. Right at the very last moment, he he sort of coils up a little bit and he explodes right into the quarterback. Watch this.
Yep. Boom. You can see. Look at the way the quarterback bounces backward as he hit him. There was no way he was getting around him. Girl lets it rip, and it's going to be Litkavich, and he's going to take it on the run, head over to the and he slips down there on the wet surface down along the Red Tornado 33-yard line. Where we 1st and 10.
Well, what you're starting to see now with the excess rain over the last 2 days, we're starting to dig the turf up. It's
right.
starting to come up, and that's what happened there when Litkavich was trying to make the cut.
Schinsky will drop back the pass. This time he has great protection, and he finds Dara down there. And Dara, a nice nifty move to go back over the 45-yard line. It'll be a 1st down on a 12-yard pass play from Schinsky to Dara.
Yeah, you see that time. Now we're starting to protect Dave a little bit more. We got Matsur left in. He was in motion, but he was going over. He sort of was moving over. His momentum was carrying him over there to the right side. And along with Mike Lashinsky was looking to see if that corner man from their left side was going to blitz.
Kovaleski in a pitch. He's got Brown out in front of him. He cuts inside of Brown, and a nice move that time as he saw which way Brown was heading. The defender was trying to sidestep Brown, and that wasn't going to happen, so he just cut up inside of him for a nice gain in the play. He crosses over midfield down to the Spartan 48-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 5.
For how big Dave Brown is, you try to sidestep him.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody's in the end zone already 3 days later, you know?
Yeah, he takes up a lot of real estate as he's rolling around the end there. Okay, we bring Matsura in motion towards us. Matsura goes into the pass play, and that's who he's looking for. And he's got him. And Stevie will take it down to the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 Red Tornadoes as they're marching again here. 1:12 left here in the 2nd quarter of play. As the rain continues to fall, it has not stopped. It hasn't stopped since last night about 4 o'clock. And it's been going steady, so it is helping the drought out, but not doing much for anybody in the stands. This time we give it to Kovaleski in a draw. Kovaleski will take it down to the 35-yard line, and the Red Tornadoes will call timeout.
Now you see the pass plays there when you take a look at those, Warren. A lot more pass protection for Dave. We're keeping more guys back. Matsur was in the last time. So was Mike Lashinsky.
8 seconds left. 2nd and 4 for the Red Tornadoes. Then Shinsky brings up in the I formation with Matsur in motion. And Shinsky will go straight back, and he's looking for Wargo. And he's got him, and Wargo pops it into the end zone. A 35-yard touchdown pass, and that tandem is hooked up again tonight. A nice play by Wargo as he adjusted to the ball and just skipped his way into the end zone. The score now, Big Red 33, the Spartans 0. With 52 seconds remaining here in the first half of play, and Litchko getting ready to tee it up. And we had an interesting extra point attempt last time, so we'll see how this one goes. This time we get it down there, and it's a low one, and he gets underneath it. So the score will remain Mount Carmel 33, North Schuylkill 0. Red Tornadoes will be kicking off once again here, and this has been a tough first half for the Spartans.
Yeah, they... 1 or 2 plays we saw Fedeko carry the ball, did very well. They moved the ball down inside the Tornadoes 30-yard line. But other than that, you know, maybe that far down on the field, they haven't done too much since then. Defensively, you know, they're not doing too much either. Tornadoes moving the ball at will up and down the field.
That was an unusual conversation between every referee there as you notice how late he is getting the ball out here. I'm not sure what they were talking about down there, but every single one of them had a meeting down there about the 5-yard line, and then they broke and ran back to their respective positions. I'm not sure what they'd be discussing, other than the fact that...
why are we having this game?
Because they have to stick themselves in an oven to get dried off. But also has like a little bit of a chill to it now, too. It's not quite warm like it has been either. Shinsky will give it a whack. This time he gets a little bit deeper, and the Spartans will come out with it. That's number 20 with the ball, Adams. And Adams on a nice run back all the way out to the 36-yard line where it's 1st and 10. He's brought down in there by number 81, for the Red Tornadoes, and that's Jaworski again on the play.
And 37, John Schuylkill making a good hit.
Schuylkill's got himself a 2-point conversion already tonight. So the Red Tornadoes now on defense. The 46 seconds left as the Spartans come out. And I'm not sure what you think about it with 46 seconds left, down 33-0 at the half. We'll see what Mark Edwards does. Goes back to pass. He's in trouble immediately, and he goes down. That's number 75 for the Red Tornadoes, John Emmerich on the initial hit. And then he was helped down there by Matsura and Buggy. And looks like Greco squeegeeing himself off there too. And it was big John Emmerich, 75. And that's 6'4", 285. So I'm not exaggerating when I say big John Emmerich on the play.
Yeah, he came right in. He's in the left tackle position there.
Big John's a senior, and he is a big man. Hey, the Spartans have decided to just let it go. They did not attempt to run a last play, and the half will end here at the Silver Bowl with the score. Mount Carmel area 33, the North Schuylkill area Spartans 0. We'll be back here shortly with the first half stats. Okay, gang, we are back here to start the second half, and I'm unfortunately have to tell you that it's raining harder than it was at the halftime. It is just going to be raining and raining and raining and raining, it appears. So we're going to have the first half stats, and they've got to be as ugly as this game has been so far, I take it.
And going down for them, I did not get wet when I got them.
Nice move, but Jose's in the press box.
Oh, okay. Yes,
although you would have went down had I not stopped you. I mean, you're putting your coat on and all. I was concerned about you. You were talking to him the whole first half, then you're going to leave.
That's why you let me babble on every so often, just to make it look like I'm important around
Hey,
here.
You're not aging gracefully either, Paul. You need to know that.
Okay, on the Tornado side, the offense, 18 carries for 123 yards. Kovaleski, 7 for 64. Brown, 2 for 18. Lashinsky, 3 for 23. Matsur, 1 for 43. And the first downs, 11. In the passing department, 5 of 6 for 141 yards in this game with the way it has been raining and the wind has been blowing. Wargo, 2 for 80. Lekavich, 1 for 42. Dara, 1 for 12. And Matsur, 1 for 7. On the other side of the field for the Spartans, 23 carries, 12 yards passing, 2 of 6 for 18, 3 first downs. But I'll tell you what, Dave Shinsky is really doing a job out there in the passing department tonight, especially with the conditions. And it's great to see because even as Phil was talking, we stated this at the beginning of the broadcast, and Phil had come over and said, it's great timing right now. You never know what you're going to hit once you get down into the playoffs a little bit later on in the year. It could be cold, it could be raining and cold, it could be windy, it could be anything.
Right.
And what better conditions now? You got to get out there, you got to do it. And maybe it was a good thing that Coach Brennan wanted to play this game under these conditions,
That's what I said. It's okay with me. I mean, we're in the press box. I can probably live with it. I'm not sure everybody else is in such agreement with him, but I'm okay with his decision. Although we did spring a leak in the press box here. I noticed we're taking on some water here as it is really raining pretty hard now. The Red Tornadoes will start the second half by receiving. Spartans get this thing teed up. It's a short kick, and that's number 48 for the Red Tornadoes on the return, and that's Pete Kulik. And Kulik will take it up over the 40-yard line, or just to the 40-yard line of the Red Tornadoes, where it's 1st and 10.
Now, again, see how long, Davey's going to keep Dave in, maybe a series, maybe 2 series here, especially with the weather conditions and the way everything else is going right now, and it's going Dave's way.
It's just getting cold out, too, I might add.
Yes, it is.
I mean, it's getting definitely cold out now. I feel sorry for these guys down in the seats down there because they're wet now. Hand the ball off right up the middle. That's Kovaleski. And Kovaleski's going to pick up 3 yards on the play to bring up 2nd down and 7 for the Red Tornadoes. But it's windy, it's cold, it's all the horrible things you never want to do, and it's all those at one time here the rain is being blown around in sheets out here right now.
Yeah.
And if you look at you can't see it as well on the TV as we can. The TV is a little bit brighter than we're actually looking at it. It's just getting uglier and uglier. Pitch out to Kovaleski, and he again has that train going, and he looks around. There's going to be a flag down on the play. It'll, I'm sure, go against the Red Tornadoes where they threw it.
Yeah, there was a blocking. It was the lead blocker over on that side. The head referee was standing right there and actually hit him with the flag.
Here you'll see the pitch, and you'll see where the flag gets thrown here. Let's see where. Yeah, I didn't really see it too much, to tell you the truth. I think they're calling it on Buggy, but I'm not sure what they're calling it on. I thought he had a pretty clean block, and he disengaged, I thought, right at the right time from it, but he didn't think so, and that's going to be a penalty. This has been a remarkably penalty-free game in the first half.
Yeah, that's the reason why it went so quick also.
Yeah, it's actually been a very fast game, thankfully. So the Red Tornadoes now have a 2nd and 15. And he leaves Brown in the backfield back there by himself, and he usually stays back to help, and he does.
Look at this.
He's got Buggy wide open. Buggy streaking down the Spartan sideline.
Oh, he tried to.
And that was one of the oddest tackles I tried to see now. He didn't get all the way into the end zone. He got down to the 1-yard line. But that was a fairly odd tackle. The defender, I believe he might have slipped, though, because he was sliding backwards there, but I'm not sure he lost his momentum. Watch as you see the play. Buggy's going to take it down along the Spartan sideline. He releases it as a tight end. Look how open he is. Now, this guy chasing him, and watch him run him down. Now, at some point here, he loses his footing as he's chasing him, but he slides the other way. I think he tried to take him out there.
Yeah.
All right, it's 1st and 10 first and goal from the 1. You're right. He may have tried to take him out, and Buggy gets down to the 1 and unfortunately does not get it into the end zone. So Shinsky will line him up. He's got Brown, the big guy, right there. We give it to Kovaleski, and he's not going in. That's a big play down there by 31, Fedeko. And Fedeko has been all over the field offensively and defensively, but that was a major hit by Fedeko on the play. And we're going to lose yardage on the play. It's now 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. That was a hit. You could hear it all the way up here as Fedeko tagged Kovaleski. He came free out of that linebacker spot. He just shot through the gap and took him on. So we'll see what the Red Tornadoes do now with a 2nd and goal from the 4. Now he go into that full house backfield. We pitch it to Kovaleski. We're going to let him pick his spot. And he's going to pick his spot, which is at the far corner. And he goes into the end zone on a nifty 4-yard run by Mark Kovaleski at the 9:41 mark of the 3rd quarter. The Red Tornadoes now lead 39-0, and that, ladies and gentlemen, will invoke the mercy rule.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, let's go back very quickly to that pass to Wargo. If you remember in the second game where, it was a little shaky, a few interceptions thrown and so on and so forth, that was the 78th consecutive pass by Dave Shinsky. He now tied his record that he set 2 years ago in the 2000 season, 78. The previous record was held by Danny Rupp, if you remember.
Oh, yes. Yes, I do.
Around the time when you played. Danny Rupp held it with 51 consecutive passes.
Okay. That's quite a number.
You bet.
We talked about everybody, you throw one interception and they remember it for 5 games.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody remembers you just threw 77 passes without an interception.
78.
Or 78. That's quite 78. A mark.
You're not kidding. And I was surprised when Jose told me that. I'm thinking 78 passes since the Panther Valley game. That's unbelievable. Dave has been cranking them out, though. That's definite. And watching his receivers. And also, Jose, of course, the man.
It's good to have him up here.
Oh, yeah, it is.
I like him up
here. It's great. I like it. I wish we could have him on the headset. But that was the 301st career pass completion by, 306th. I'm sorry. He's at 305. He hit 300 the very first pass of the game tonight.
Short man's going to take it. He heads up field. And that's number 30. I think that was 31. It's hard to tell. Their white uniforms are now getting a little ugly in there. Let me see.
32.
30. Is that 32?
32.
Okay, that's number 32. That's McTiernan on the return. He returns it out to the Spartan 37-yard line where it's 1st and 10 for the Spartans.
And then the last thing with Dave Shinsky is that was the 39th. This is the 39th consecutive game he has thrown a completion. The last time that was Mike Higgins held that record at 34 games.
A reverse, and Swank managed to get held, grabbed him by his jersey, yanked him back, and he still stopped the thing for a big loss, and he was just all over that play. I mean, even holding him didn't help as he charges through the line, and he sends the Spartans back for a big loss on the play. You're now looking at, oh my goodness, it's going to be second down and 22 or 23, somewhere around there. So a big loss on the play for the Spartans as Edwards brings them up. He's looking to pass. He's got a guy downfield, but he throws it right to Wargo. And Wargo's still chugging along down along the Spartan sideline, and he'll take it down inside the Spartan 30-yard line, and that was just completely overthrown. Completely overthrown there by the quarterback from North Schuylkill, and it's going to be a turnover, and that's the last thing they needed to do to start this game off. Edwards has played a tough game. He really has.
Yeah,
He's been battered around, and just got high is all it was. Now we see a change in quarterback here as number 10 for the Red Tornadoes will enter the football game. That's Mike Cisnoski, and he'll pilot the Red Tornadoes for the rest of this game, or at least for most of this game. We may see a third one come in there later on. But now Cisnoski at the helm for the Red Tornadoes. And he gives it to Lashinsky, and Mike is barreling his way down for a 9-yard pickup. Second down and 1 for the Red Tornadoes.
Number 37, John Schuylkill, is in. Pete Kulik, number 48.
All right, Cisnoski will bring him up. 7:29 remaining here in the third quarter. And he goes to Schuylkill. And Schuylkill is going to pick up the first down, although I think the ball hit the ground there at some point. Let's see what they do. It's first down. Maybe it didn't hit the ground. He's just looking for the first down. So Schuylkill will pick up the first down, number 37 down there. He's already, as I said before, bagged a 2-point conversion here on the botched 1-point conversion. We have a Spartan down on the field down there. A North Schuylkill Spartan guy is down. The clock will stop at 7:08 as they tend to him. Lashinsky will trot off the field, and Cisnoski will come down here to get the next play.
Yeah, Lee Novich came off, number 41. We're getting some substitutions now. Number 83, Sean Fracolosi is in. Number 80, Rodney Burcheski goes into the lineup.
59, Nick Chapman also into the Red Tornado lineup as Swank will come out of the game here, and I guess that's the last action that Randy will see here tonight. The All-State candidate at center here for the Red Tornadoes. So we will have a group of new players. We will try to keep you apprised of all of them as they come into the game. I mean, this is insult to injury now. The last thing you want to do is have a guy get hurt in a game like this. It's not going your way to begin with, and you get a guy down, and they're spending some time with him. Hopefully he is not injured in any severe way. I hope they're just being cautious with him. Supper Club gang, remember Supper Club every Thursday night, 6:30 in the back room at Tucci's. It is absolutely the best time you can have in Mount Carmel area football. You want to be there. $5 gets you in. If you want dinner, it's another $7. You want to order off the menu, knock yourself out. Doesn't matter to us. Doesn't matter to Nick.
Nope.
Now, of course, I didn't pay the bill last night because I missed it. As I said, I was at the Lions Club meeting, and people said, you're a little bit worried. And I said, well, Nick's a bodybuilder and pretty tough guy. And I said, but I'm not worried about Nick. I'm okay with Nick. It's Grace that worries me. Apparently Grace, and I can't confirm this. I can't right now, although they are looking into it. Apparently Grace is holding my mother hostage. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, maybe she went overboard. I don't know, but I need to get this bill paid. But all kidding aside, it's just a great time. The Matucci family is truly the first family of sports, I think, at Mount Carmel area. Right. I'd have to say that for all they do. And all they do is the fact that you won't ever hear it because they are loath to let anybody find out what they're doing. And if I really want to get in trouble, it's if I'm going to start talking about it, that's when Nick's going to get mad at me. He just does not like people to know what he does, but he just does so much. The Red Tornado medical staff, Doc Recco's running out there with one of the trainers now to take a look at the Spartan who's down. And again, I don't know what it is. I do hope it is nothing serious. But he now, along with a great Spartan staff, has a crack Mount Carmel area tornado staff out there, and maybe they can get him rolling there. He is moving around, and that's a good sign. And they're now going to get him up, and that's even a better sign. So he's going to be a little gimpy there, but at least he's moving around, and that's good news. He did injure his leg. That's what the problem there is he's not putting any pressure on it as they take him off to the Spartan sideline there. It's 7:08 remaining here in the third quarter. The Red Tornadoes are up 40-0, and they have pretty much an entire new. In fact, they do. It's not pretty much. There's an entire new team in there on offense for the Red Tornadoes as they have another unit in there.
Yeah, number 66, Jonathan Novak in as the center.
They're right in the middle down there, and that was the fullback they gave it to. That's big number 80 at the fullback spot.
Rodney Burcheski.
Rodney Buracheski. I want to get that name slow, so I got it right.
Burcheski.
So he carries for the Red Tornadoes. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 7, 3-yard gain on the play.
81, Josh Jaworski in at the wide receiver position. He's going out to the right.
Cisnowski pitches it back to Schuylkill. He's got everybody in front of him. He's going to be brought down in there by Fedeko. Nice play by Fedeko on the play. And he'll stop Schuylkill for a loss on the play of about a yard.
Quick pitch, student body right. Lead blockers out there. Daukus, the guard, the right guard taking off. Just couldn't turn the corner.
I said Fedeko made a nice play. And
all
actually
over. I mean, he's their whole defense just about right
that defensive end made a nice play there, too. This time Cisnowski will go back to pass, and he looks downfield. A nice pass just through the hands of number 48 down there for the Red Tornadoes, Kulik, who he tried to hit right along the goal line down there. Just went through his hands. It'll bring up 4th down. It's 4th and 9 now. And that was a nice pass, though, by Cisnowski.
Cisnowski set his feet. And you talked about this earlier, when you talked about Edwards. But he turned his feet. He squared up with the goal line, and it was a nice pass.
Sebastian brought the play in for Cisnowski. This time we give it to Schuylkill on a draw play. And Schuylkill's not going to go anywhere, and we're going to turn the ball over to the Spartans on downs. The Red Tornadoes send in pretty much their first group on defense right now. There's a couple of differences in there. Emmerich's going to go in there, and he's been playing a good football game tonight.
Kovaleski, number 30, is going in on defense. Probably as a corner with the speed. Nate Morgan, number 28, is in.
All right, now the wind's blowing my stuff around, and I'm getting mad. They didn't care when it blew all your stuff down the stairs. Edwards is going to hand off to Fedeko. It took a while to get out of there, but they hand off to Fedeko. He makes very little yardage on the play. It'll bring up a 2nd down and about 8. Made about 2 yards.
They got Joe Daukus in number 72 on the defensive side.
Edwards is going to run the ball himself, as it was kind of one of those weird sweep plays where he turns the completely opposite way and runs. He's brought down pretty hard in there by Matsura. It'll bring up a 3rd down and about 5. Also Kovaleski in on that stop.
Kovaleski in there coming up from the corner position to make that tackle.
Edwards brings him up. He's got a full house backfield there. And he's going to roll back in the pass. And nice play this time, a nice pass. He hits number 23 for the Spartans down there. And that's Groh. And that's the longest pass play of the evening for Mark as he hits Groh, and he's going to move the sticks now.
Some good pressure on him coming from the backside, although we stated that he was having more success when he was rolling out like he just did. Gets him free a little bit, gets him away from that pressure. Nate Morgan making the tackle out of bounds, but 15 yards downfield here.
2:32 remaining in the third quarter now, as the Spartans have a 1st and 10 in their own territory at their own 41. I'm sorry, their own 37, not 41. Fedeko, and he's going to be lucky to get to the line of scrimmage. And that play was kind of goofy there to begin with, and there's a Spartan down on the field, and I saw him go down. He was caught in that backwash there.
He went backwards, unfortunately.
Yeah, he did. That was a tough hit he took. I saw him trying to get out of the way, and he couldn't move fast enough. So at 2:08, another stoppage of this game as another Spartan has gone down, and they'll attend to him for a second out there. The Red Tornadoes now certainly content not to do anything extravagant. With 40-0 lead, they just want to get out of the rain right now. And I'm sure the Spartans are probably thinking the same thing. The Spartan program, as we said, a proud football program. There have been many, many great football games between these two schools. This is certainly an aberration for this program. And again, a new coach, a new system. He has a very young squad in front of him, so it's only going to get better for them. And, we know that just from that program alone and knowing the people over in the North Schuylkill area school district. It's not going to stay this way for very long. So we look forward to them being very competitive again, I'm sure, by next year. We crossed over into this part of the season, of course, undefeated. We're looking down the road the 2 away games in a row as we'll play Shikellamy and Danville away. Danville at their new stadium.
Yes.
We've never been to that stadium before. They've moved from FQ Hartman to the new one, which is right by the high school up there. So we look forward to that game. And, of course, we ended up with Sittingsboro, which has been an absolute marvelous rivalry going in the last 5 years or so between the two schools.
But the plus there is Lawver's not around.
Yes, Justin Lawver has graduated, and it was such a shame. We played them that last game of the regular season. They knocked us out of the playoffs and went on to win Eastern Conference. But I went to see Lawver play when they chose to play in Shamokin, and they played Manheim Central, and I thought, I'd really like to see what this kid can do. And on the opening kickoff, he severely sprains his ankle. He never goes back in the game. And about right near the end of the first quarter, they lose the other running back. He gets a knee injury, and that was the end of the game. And I felt bad for him because he was such a competitor, and to lose him. And I think they would have beaten Manheim Central had he been able to stay in the football game. All right, we're back to play here. 2:03 in the third quarter. Edwards brings his group up. He's got an I formation behind him there. And he does the long count, and that's something he's done all night. Nice play, and he's got him open down there. That's number 1, Jacob Weinrich. That was a nice pass.
Good timing pass. All he did, 3 steps back, turned around, threw the ball up. But now at this point we have total substitution. We got our whole second team in. We're trying to get a little bit of experience out there.
I think he's just trying to get them muddy.
You think so?
That's what I think it is. Nobody's going to leave here with a clean uniform tonight. Spartans now down at the Red Tornado 36-yard line where it's 1st and 10. They have the longest count I've ever seen. This time it's
nice place, Jonathan
Novak.
Novak.
But Novak just smothers them. Fideco's been tough to bring down. All right, it's going to bring up a 2nd and 12 as Novak stops him for a 2-yard loss, and that was a tough tackle on Fideco. He's been hard to bring down. All right, Edwards will bring up. He's got Stutch Cage in front there in that fullback spot. Stutch Cage has not carried the ball much tonight. I'm not sure he carried it at all tonight, in fact. But he's been doing the blocking here. This time we roll out. He's got some room. He's got around a corner. And he's going to be taken out of bounds down there.
34, Dave Sebastian coming up from the corner position to make that hit.
That'll be the final play of the third quarter. As this quarter winds down, the Spartans will just be happy to change fields right now and get ready for the fourth quarter. Inside 10 seconds now as they let the clock click down, and we'll get ready for the fourth quarter of play here. The Red Tornadoes will end this third period, of course, leading 40-0 over the Spartans, and that's the end of the quarter.
Yeah, number 59, Nick Chapman, goes in the position for Rich Greco, number 56. So now everybody is now substituted.
And we're starting to see the, as we talked about the playoffs and talked the last part of the season coming up for us, and of course, 3 tough games. Shikellamy still struggling a little bit, I think, and that's a program that's had its problems in the last 10 years or more.
Yeah, you've got to go back 10 years.
They've struggled a little bit, but Cities Grove coming up, and then, of course, the districts are starting to take a little bit of shape now. Anything can still happen, but a good Line Mountain squad playing down over the hill here. They've been playing good. They had a loss last week, but playing some tough football, and we expect if they don't stumble to see them in the playoffs somewhere in this district. And then it's kind of jumbled. I mean, everybody seems to be losing here and there. And we thought Usville for a second, and they dropped 2 in a row somehow. And we'll wait and see how that turns out. The good thing is that at the rate we're heading, at least at this juncture, and anything could happen, but we're at least looking at home field advantage, which is always what you want in the district playoffs. So we'll watch as these games progress, and, of course, what other teams in the district are doing tonight and the following 3 weeks. All right, Edwards brings him up, gets a man in motion. And actually just putting him in a different spot. He wasn't in motion. Another pop pass. He was trying to hit Tom Tishin there. And number 81, Jaworski, just barely missed the interception there as he couldn't hit Tom Tishin.
Yeah, that was close. I don't think he could get any closer than that. Josh trying to pick off that ball there, Jaworski. Number 57, Adam Hepler now in at the nose guard position.
Okay, Edwards will bring him up. This time he fakes it and he's going to roll out, and he was well covered. And nice tackle down in there by the Red Tornado. Let me see who comes off that pile. That's going to be number...
Nate Morgan, number 28.
Is it 28, Morgan?
Yep.
Nice tackle by Morgan. That was a nice play by the Spartans, and they moved the chains. It's a first down. And he just ran 23 in back of him there and let him go out into the flat down there. That was a nice play by the Spartans as they now have a 1st and 10, and the ball is down on the Red Tornado 23-yard line. Edwards back to pass. This time he's under pressure, and that time he goes down. That time he goes down. Down in there was 66, Novak, and 55, right?
Dan Evans.
Evans just throws him to the ground. Novak got a hold of him there and pushed him, but Evans finished them off, and a big loss for the Spartans. Ball back at the Spartan 31-yard line. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and about 17 now for the first down. This time we fake the pass and we give it to Fedeko, and he's loose. And Fedeko is going to be brought down by Morgan, but not before he crosses the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Another tough run by Fedeko for the Spartans, and Morgan on the touchdown-saving tackle.
Yeah, that was good play, draw play. You're looking at maybe, 2nd down and 15, 20 yards to go. Mount Carmel looking for pass defensively, and they come out with a draw play. And not only that, they had the lead blocker to pick up the linebacker as he was going through the hole.
Third down and 2 for the Spartans as Edwards looks around. He's, I think, changing the play. So he audibles at the line of scrimmage. And this time we go to Fideko, and he's brought down immediately down there by number 57 for the Red Tornadoes.
Hepler coming out of that nose guard position, stayed very low to the ground and just came right through the hole of the gap of the guard and makes a tackle in the backfield. Forces North Schuylkill to call a timeout with the 4th and 3.
Right, they were threatening there, and now a big 4th down and 4th and 3 altogether, long 3. As Hepler really kind of blows up their plans there. So they'll go to the sideline and get Coach Polinsky's idea on what to do here. 8:50 remaining here in the ball game. And it's been an ugly ball game, folks, for the Spartan side of the ball and for anybody who's sitting in the stadium, as it has just not stopped raining for 1 second the entire night. Just been a tough night for the fans here. And, you look down here, a big thank you to those that did come. I mean, there's a group of fans out here, but not what we're used to. And the good thing is that they probably all stayed home figuring they could see us. Hey, I can be wishful, can't I?
I was going to say, your medication is kicking in again.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, Edwards brings him up. He's got Stutz Cage in the fullback spot there with Fideko. He's got a long 3 for the first down. And he's going to keep it, and he's going to have plenty of room, and then he throws the ball, and he's going to score. He's going to score in a 16-yard touchdown pass to Jacob Weinrich, who catches the ball and takes it in the end zone, and the Spartans are on the scoreboard at the 8:42 mark. Mount Carmel area 40, North Schuylkill 6, and we'll see what they do for the extra point. I believe they're going to think about kicking it. Let me see how they line up there.
Well, again, you talked about this time and time again. 8 minutes ago, the score like it is, and the first team for North Schuylkill is still on that field. You want to try to give everybody as much experience as possible. And
all right, they're going to go for 2, and he drops it, and he's down. He's not going to make it. So the 2-point conversion blows up as Edwards drops the ball, and the ball is, of course, slippery. So the score will remain Big Red 40, the Spartans 6, and they will tee it up and kick off, and we'll see how the rest of this game ends. The cheerleaders have not given up. I'll give them on both sides. They are keeping it going here in all this kind of rain. And all. They don't care. They're just going at it still.
They got their rain gear on, and they're cheering.
I thought it was kind of, the Red Tornadoes that halftime sat down on the track.
Yes.
And I'm thinking the track's got to have about 4 feet of water laying on it somewhere there, and they're sitting down there. So I hope those rain suits are as good as they look.
Well, not only that, they're probably full of water, 2 feet of water. So,
yeah.
What's the difference? You're soaking wet. Sit down.
All right, number 51 for the Spartans, Dave Wary, will tee it up, and he'll do the kicking chores. Red Tornadoes have a completely different backfield in here. In fact, they have a completely different everything in here to receive the kickoff than we had seen earlier in the game. So Wary will give it a whack, and he does. High knuckleball, Schuylkill originally, but now we're going to have Jaworski, number 81, and he comes upfield. And Jaworski takes it up to the 35-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes. So the Red Tornadoes will go on offense here as the clock continues to run under the mercy rule conditions.
Number 51, Adam Croker going in. I'm trying to get some of these names for you. Number 75, John Eremic is back in. 57, Adam Hepler going in at the center position.
Schuylkill on the carry for the Red Tornadoes. No gain on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Looks like Coach from North Schuylkill is now making some substitutions.
Yep, we got some
into their line.
A couple of clean uniforms anyway coming into the ball game. Schuylkill again, the ball on the ground, and I think it bounced right back up to him. as the ball bounced down on a wet surface. It didn't move anywhere, and it bounced right back up to him, and he fell on it. It'll bring up 3rd down now and 8 for the Red Tornadoes. As you're right, the Spartans now beginning to substitute along the entire line of scrimmage there. And actually, they put a big guy in there. They put number 65 in there, Ralph Beaver. He's 6'1", 220, but he looks bigger than that, to tell you the truth. He's a big one.
Number 42, John Janolic, is in for the Tornadoes.
Sosnowski's going to pass, and it's tipped. Tipped at the line of scrimmage down there.
Almost caught. Who was that? Number 34, Dave Sebastian, makes a diving attempt.
Yasenchek, number 13 for the Spartans on the tip.
Number 7, Jeff Hicks, goes in. I think he's going to be your new quarterback. No, he's going back to center. He's centering.
Litchko came in here, and Litchko's going to kick, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Don't confuse me here now. This is hard enough. And he puts a high one up there. Runs under 59 for the Red Tornadoes. He did everything else but catch the ball as he puts the Spartan down immediately as he catches the ball. And the Spartans will take over 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line. Well, he was right there. I mean, that was the ball carrier kind of slipped a little bit there as he was catching it, and his backward momentum, Chapman just finished the rest of it off for him.
Number 89, Jason Pahutsky, going in at the defensive end position.
The Spartans have called a timeout, and I think he's just trying to figure out who's in there right now more than he's
coming
anything.
in to put some extra men into some positions here. It's a little, like you said, we've seen that ourselves. It's a little difficult when you're trying to yell for somebody to go in. You want to try to get them in the game before, 5 minutes or the time runs out or whatever. And you always want to make sure that, you have a full complement out there.
We'll have a new quarterback in the game. That's going to be number 11, Christopher Furtick. He's a sophomore, 5'9", 165 pounds. He'll take the reins of this Spartan offense now as they go back on offense in their own territory at about the 43-yard line. So we've got an entire different squad on both sides of the ball. My hat's off to the Spartans. And Furtick dropped the ball in the first snap. I think he got it back, but he's going to take him a play or two to get used to a slippery ball there. So he falls on and he'll bring up a 2nd down. He actually he lost the yard. He lost the yard on the play. So it'll bring up 2nd down and 11. But again, I say my hat's off to the North Schuylkill sideline. He's a young team.
Yeah.
But if he wants this team to build, if he wants these kids to stay interested, they got to play some football, and he's doing the right thing. So Coach Jeff Polinsky is doing what we like him to do. Hands off in there and a handoff right up the middle to go out to the 45-yard line.
Adam Hepler making initial hit. Number 89, Jason Pahutsky. Number 79, 75, John Aremic, also making the tackle.
Spartans are a little confused here because they don't have enough people is what they're a little confused for. Now they may have too many as Furtick gets them lined up there. And they're a little new here. So, we got to give them some time to get adjusted to this offense. And they did. There's a rip of a run there nearly out to the 1st down. We'll see where they spot the ball. He's going to probably be a yard short. He's going to bring up a 4th down now and about a yard on the play.
Number 37, John Schuylkill, making the tackle. And we have a few celebrities up here now. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, very few.
Yeah, the bro.
Fewer than I thought, in fact.
And
there's less now than when we started.
The Hoyt and, broke his hair there.
All right, Furtick got them lined up now. They're going to go for it on 4th down and a little less than a 1. And they are not going to get it because number 57 for the Red Tornadoes said, I'm not going to let it happen. Adam Hepler blows up the play in the Spartan backfield, and the Spartans will turn the ball over on downs at the 3:23 mark here of the game. Nice play by Hepler as he was all over that play.
That's the second time. Hepler has definitely destroyed anything that the North Schuylkill Spartans were trying to do down on the 15-yard line. He came in, put them back for a 4-yard loss, and here again he stops them from picking up the first down.
The Spartans take another timeout, and that's the final timeout that they have, and I'm not sure what they took a timeout for on this one, unless, again, he's just trying to set a defense. He did.
Well, that's
he didn't have enough guys in there. He's trying to get everybody set up there. So he takes his third and final timeout as he tries to get everybody in the football game. And, again, I'm not faulting anybody for this. That's exactly what you want to do. Get these kids. They stood out here in the rain all night, and they finally get a chance to play, so they want to make the most of it. He wants to make sure he gets everybody in and in the right spot at least. So they look like they're where they want to be here. Sosnowski remains at quarterback for the Red Tornadoes. And he gives it to the up back, Jaworski. And Jaworski will pick up about 5 yards in the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 5 for the Tornadoes. They're in Spartan territory, down at the Spartan 45-yard line.
Oh,
and now we're going to change quarterbacks.
Rich Litchko, number 12, going in. Derek Lepotsky, number 11.
So Sosnowski comes out, and he did a nice job while he was in there, and we'll see Litchko now do the honors at quarterback, and he puts Jaworski in motion. We hand off to the deep back. He's going to pick up a yard on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd down now and about 4. Let me see who gets off the pile down there. It was actually carrying. Well, that's Schuylkill, 37, carrying the ball. Number 80, Buracheski, runs in with the play along with 88, Alan Homitz. .155 remaining here in the ball game as Litchko brings them up. He's going to pitch it out there to Schuylkill. Schuylkill's got himself some room. Schuylkill's going to pick up the first down. It looks, he does.
Yep.
1st and 10, Red Tornadoes, and a nice play by Schuylkill as he comes towards the Red Tornado bench. Minute 37, that'll be the end of any offense for the Spartans unless we fumble the ball here as the mercy rule continues to tick the clock down here. So the Red Tornadoes, Wayne, come out of a ugly night of football as far as weather is concerned with a very big and impressive win against the Spartans, who are going to drop to 0-7. They've had a long year. You got to give these kids a lot of credit. I mean, they're still out there playing. They're still doing what they need to do, and Coach Polinsky has to be proud of them. Schuylkill on the carry. He'll cross over the 35-yard line down to about the 33-yard line of the Spartans. But it's not easy when you're 0-7 now.
Yeah,
you go out there and practice every day and go to a game. It's just not. And, it's just a tough thing for high school kids to do, and my hat's off. Coach Polinsky's got to keep them motivated. He's got to keep them focused. He's got to do it. I think he's doing all the right things over there. It's just going to be a tough season, and I think next year he's going to have a lot to build on, and I think that's what he's hoping for.
He's got a young team here. You take a look at these kids, and you're right. They're enthusiastic out there. They want to play.
Schuylkill will be put down. He's tackled down in there by number 64 for the Spartans, and that's Vince Laspina. Vince Laspina for the Spartans. I know Vince's father very well.
Do you really?
I get around.
Really?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Rick. I'm thinking it's Rick. I'm thinking that's his dad.
Sure it is.
But I know him very well. Say hello to him if he's watching the game.
The thing is, though, does he admit that?
Well, I don't know if he admits he knows me, but I'm admitting that I know him because I have to, because I don't have that many friends. So, and he actually was very nice to me all the time. So I'm definitely counting him. So, but I'm glad to see his son playing out there for the Spartans. The end of the game, ladies and gentlemen. The final score: Mount Carmel area 40, the Spartans 6. The Red Tornadoes move to 7-0 on the season. As we said earlier in the game, they will crank up the bus and travel to Schuylkill, into Schuylkill Stadium down there along the river, where they will play the Braves on tomorrow night. In fact, not on Friday night, tomorrow night. And, I'm sorry, 2 nights, not tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's supper. Friday night's the game. Let's keep it straight now. But we will meet the Braves and see them next week. And, of course, we have after that, as we said, Danville coming up. And, of course, we'll end the regular season with Sinnings Grove as we get into the October, November end of our season here. The weather will start to turn cold, and this is what will separate the men from the boys sooner or later. So not a whole lot more to say about this. We saw no injuries. We always like to see that. We saw some Spartan kids. We see one with a crutch over there. I hope he is okay. Hopefully that's something he recovers from very quickly. You don't want to lose a game 486 and lose some players at the same time, so I'm hoping that didn't happen. We wish the Spartans the best of luck, and Coach Plinsky, he's had a tough season, and we hope he can turn it around or do a couple plays for us or win a couple of games before the end of the season. Wayne, you have some end-of-the-game stats, which is unusual for us.
Yeah, this is pretty neat. I really like this. I hope it rains all the time, and Jose's up here. In the rushing department for the Tornadoes, 34 carries for 161 yards. Kovaleski, 11 for 71. Lashinsky, 4 for 31. Brown, 2 for 18. Mitsur, 1 for 21, and that was on that sally that he ran. Shaiko, 9 for 16. Buracheski, 1 for 3, and Jaworski, 1 for 4. In the passing department, 6 of 9. This is unbelievable. 6 of 9 for 204 yards in this torrential downpour.
And what, 2 touchdowns?
This just amazing. Every time I look at these stats from Jose for Dave Shinsky in the passing department, and we take a look here, Shinsky was 6 of 7. For 207 yards, so outstanding game. He just keeps on going on. He keeps on motoring here.
I think he's getting better and better.
Wow, he is. On the receiving end of it, Wargo 2 for 80 yards. Lekavich 1 for 42. Dara 1 for 12. Matsura 1 for 7, and his handwriting again.
Buggy.
Oh, that's Buggy. Okay.
That's the 63 that was 1 yard short of 64 and a touchdown. I got to talk to him.
63 yards. You got it. 14 first down. So, just an outstanding night in the passing department for Dave and the running department. Tell you what, in these conditions on this field, I think they came out and they did exactly what needed to be done to win this game tonight, and that was control the ball. Both on the offensive side and defensively, the Spartans just could not do anything on the ground or in the air. Are you awake?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at an interesting thing. I'm looking down in the field. Most of the Mount Carmel area coaching staff is trying to put the field back together, as the field has been ripped up a little bit here. Whereas this field put down just this year, so unfortunately, it's not taken seed enough. It's not rooted enough, so it took some hits as parts of the divots have come out here. Doc Greco's down there doing his divot work. It's like a jigsaw puzzle as we try to put this stuff back together, and I haven't seen that before. So we look forward to next week at Schuylkill, of course, coming up in a couple days. We had a nice game. I like all the things we saw. We saw Shinsky really shine again tonight in tough conditions. We saw the running game take shape a little bit and get a good feel for itself. So I think we did all the right stuff again. There's nothing else we can really look forward to unless we keep doing this and maybe some better weather. So if we look forward to better weather and a better game, we can't go wrong.
We can't. You're right.
All right. On behalf of all of the staff at WKMC TV, I am Warren Altamar.
And Wayne Brokenshire.
Good night.